petty.
I'm not saying all of you are petty. I'm not saying anybody started it. Bro, I don't care who started it. I'm not saying all of you are petty.
I know, I'm asking you a direct question. Who started? I'm not asking you. How did I start it?
They tell everybody that she doesn't have content, this, that, blah, 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 blah.
No, I never did that.
From her. That's
no, that's not how we started. These people, don't worry, people out here, conspiracy where we conspire for upstairs. They went to go and discuss conspiracy because I called person's name. Literally, that's how we started. Yes.
Oh, we should be fighting for now at this silly sponsor task.
I want to win as many as possible.
Well, that's the whole point. But we're my nonchalance. I always do my best. I'm not here trying to prove anything to anybody, to be honest. Because I'm telling you guys, how many times have we been in that arena? And you noticed something that I just purposely said no. Never.
This time to be. Who swapped my cover?
Are you wrong?
I'm not wrong.
I'm not wearing you.
Do you want your meat fried or do you want it like this in your sauce fried? I like your thing.
Who swapped my covers?
Yes. Everybody. Because actually smells.
No, now what? Beat me. Exactly, so move on.
Rricky is finally realizing that he is becoming almost useless to people in the house and people don't rate him. So he is sort of like retracing his steps, but he does not want to do it openly. He's now trying to sell himself to someone like Kievo. Yes, how are the mighty fallen? And then there was the moment where, should we say Yusuf tried to defend Flora when Chim Sum tried to make her look like a non-entity. Yeah. There was a lot that happened in conversations. Barry and what's her name, Goddessa, were cooking in the kitchen and flirting at the same time. I was like, hey. And just before that happened, like a couple, maybe minutes, hours ago, Barry and Abby had a terrible fallout. And there was just a lot of little chaos everywhere. And then Rricky telling Bells that she's getting attached to Yusuf. A lot, guys. We have a lot to cover in this video. But first off, thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe or follow depending on where you are seeing this. And please, the comment section is open. Don't be shy to share your wildest thoughts. Let's share. Anyways, let us start with Rricky. So the Colgate task, he was literally like the last housemate that was picked. Nobody wanted to pick him. And it dawned on him that you cannot walk this path alone. Your experience in Big Brother's house has to have some sort of alliance and friendships, and not ones that you are trying to force as strategic so that you can use these people. Because the way that Sheba ran away from him, Sheba ran so fast and ran so far that you can almost never see the both of them together. It's almost as if she knew that he shamed her at some point. I don't know, but she had already stayed away from him when he made that statement. So I'm not really sure if someone told her or not. Recently, he has been getting close to Abby, and even that Abby, he has said the most vile things about her as well. In fact, he was trying to flirt with her in the kitchen. She literally had to physically push him away because he was coming too close to her. That type of behavior is just, to be fair, very childish, if I'm being honest. You know, this woman is married. And yes, don't even get me started with, oh, but she's in the house. People need to respect boundaries. If a man that is married was in that house and a girl was going close to him and flirting with him, we would call it out too. People need to just respect boundaries. This woman says openly that she's married, talks about her husband all the time. And do you think that that is the person that you should be flirting with? He's close to her, he calls her crazy, but that he likes her kind of crazy. It's just really distasteful. I love the fact that she's standing her ground. I feel like if she's not careful, they would have a very big fallout. And the reason why I'm saying if she's not careful is because Abby has a foul mouth. She does not keep anything in. And she's quite loud with her opinions. Should I say loud or just kind of aggressive with her opinions, right? So she does not keep it in. If what you're doing, she doesn't like it, she's going to tell you. And she won't mince words and she won't say it politely. Okay, yes. I think that is the word or the phrase. She does not say her discomfort or her disgust or her displeasure politely, the way that some other people would want her to say it, which is it is one of the reasons why she had that issue with Araga, because Araga was like, nobody's your mate here. Talk to people respectfully. I was like, Araga, this is not the first time that you would have an issue with Abby. They had an issue before during the Ouija preparation. And Araga couldn't take what he dishes out. Yeah. Araga is somebody who thinks that when he is the one that is at the giving end, it is justified. When he's at the receiving end, it is not justified. So even though people are on the TL dragging Abby that she is not polite in her conversations, I was like, is Araga polite in his own conversations? And the way that he charged towards her to put her in her place and she not backing down. What he did was psychological, okay? When you are having an argument with someone and you charge toward the person, you want to make the person be instinctively either defensive or be offensive too. That is how people clash. If two, maybe a guy and a girl, okay, the same scenario, and Abby was the one charging towards him in that very angry tone, we would say, should they go close to a man like that? So if he touches her now, there will be problem. But then we don't call it out because it is a guy doing it. I don't know why. Because Araga is not polite. But he wants politeness from Abby. And when he said, nobody is your mate, I don't understand. Abby, he's saying insinuate Abby. Maybe it's possible. I don't care. But in Biggie's house, you can't be using age as the yardstick for someone to respect you. You have to earn that respect. If you want to be spoken to politely, speak to the person politely as well. It is a two-way thing. It is not something you demand for. It is something that you have to earn. And like I said, they already have a history between the two of them. I think they've had issues with each other, so they kind of like just irritate each other so easily. So hopefully we don't get to the point where there are so many fights and Abby is in the midst of all of those, because I see that there's a certain level of irritation that what's his name, Rricky, is already drumming up in her, because he went to her and told her that they have a plan against her to kick her out of the house after this week that she's HH. And I didn't watch that happen. In fact, when he was seated there, Yusuf's head was even faced down when they were talking. And that conversation didn't include them. He's making the people he was sitting down with, talking to, he's making them look bad, because it was Kievo, it was Aiko, and there was Yusuf and himself. And these people don't have any issues with Abby. Only for him to come and tell her they have a plan. So Bells was like, what you boys are doing is not good. You people should leave Abby alone. And Joseph is like, what do you mean? He said, you people are, what was the word that she used? I can't remember. But it was like, we're not, essentially trying to make life tough for her in the house, stuff like that. And I was like, we are not. That, he became defensive because I not talk that kind of thing. I am not part of that type of, plan or anything. And then she mentioned that Rricky said to people had that. They're like, why would you spoil people's name to Abby? Because you are like, to what end? What is the game that you are playing? Rricky is too messy. He's too messy. He's lazy. He is condescending. And he thinks that he's better than everyone. That's why he got left. Like, when you were in school and, all those school times where people are getting chosen to join groups and you are literally the last person. Nobody wants to pick you. It makes you feel a certain type of way. And it is because you are either not a likable person or do you get? That is what happened to Rricky. It should be a wake-up call for him. These days, he spends a bit of more time talking with people. But if you're spending time with people and then turning that into a conspiracy that it wasn't, that was never done, and then using them as your, storyline and making them look bad. No, it is so wrong. Now he wants to put a target on the backs of those people. Abby will just get up and think that, oh, these people that were with him, so it is Kievo that is against me. It's Aiko. And Aiko and Abby used to be close, even though now they are no longer that close. But they also don't have an issue with each other. Same thing with Yusuf. All of a sudden, you want Abby to now look at them a certain way, and maybe small thing that they would do, she would, turn up the heat, and it will look like you want to make her look bad. Because you also know that Abby can easily be triggered, and Abby does not talk to people, calmly. That is the type of game that Rricky is playing. I don't like that type of game. And this is coming from somebody who nobody wants to pick. The few people who get to sit down with you, you want to turn them to game plan in a very malicious way. Just terrible. So if Bells hadn't gone there to ask Yusuf that question because she heard it, literally, I don't know if Yusuf is going to go have a conversation with Abby later, or maybe just clear things up or something. I don't know. Now that Yusuf has heard, if I was him, I would go and clear it with her. Abby, I'm not your friend. I don't have any issues with you. Whatever it is that Rricky told you, I was never part of even if I was there, we never talked about stuff like that. So that nobody is going to come and use me as stepping stone for their game, which is what Rricky has consistently tried to do. Every single person Rricky has gotten close to in that house, he tries to use them for his game. How toxic can you be? Well, except for Bells, because I think Bells and Rricky has like a bit of a genuine connection. And another thing is, Bells has her own thing going for her. She is kind of like close to him, but she's also not close to him, if you get what I mean. Maybe that's why their friendship has lasted. And it seems like he genuinely cares for her, because he was telling her that Yusuf is not, she's getting attached to Yusuf, and he doesn't, when she told him that she does not have a type as well, her type in the house, and whatever it is that she's doing in the house is just for games. And then he told her, you are getting attached to Yusuf. Which, in my opinion, I mean, they are two consenting adults. If he's not treating her bad, there's nothing there, to be honest. And if maybe she getting attached is spoiling her game, then I get Rricky trying to advise her. I'm not seeing things from his perspective, so I won't drag him on that. But I'm just saying every other person outside of Bells that he has tried to be close to, he has managed to spoil those relationships. 3 women, from Neche to Shiba to Abby. Abby's own is already getting spoiled. And all of them he has somehow managed to badmouth. Okay, well, not Neche really, but he has tried to badmouth Shiba, badmouth Abby, badmouth any other girl that he's not close to. It's terrible behavior. I don't know how, people think that it is okay to do that. Because if you cannot maintain friends, you will continue to be left out when people are choosing people to be part of their team. And it does not really have anything to do with at least 100% with competence. Because when he was talking to Kievo, he was like, choose me. Like, you are literally begging to be chosen for you to be part of teams in the future, because your eyes don't open. And like I said, someone like Kievo, you're literally begging Kievo. Before, it used to be, I told you guys that there's a hierarchy in the house. Kievo is like middle feeder. Yeah. Rricky thinks he's, at the top. It did not know that he's now a bottom feeder. So he's trying to improve his rep to Kievo's level, telling him that, have you ever seen a time where I'm in that arena and I didn't do things right? I am not, fighting. Nobody's fighting for them to be. No, people are just being respectful of other people, being strategic, and literally not shitting on every relationship that they've been able to build in the house. I think I have dragged Rricky enough, so let's move on. Just a little bit. I'm not going to lie. All through the evening, I was just getting irritated by almost every little thing that the guy was doing. It's so unnecessary, especially the lying part to Abby. It was so unnecessary. Anyways, please, I hope that you have liked the video, Sha. And I'm glad that I'm this calm, because other times, but probably because I'm doing this in the dead of the night, But I love that I didn't get out of character. I'm still maintaining steeze and composure. I'm being fine and all. I know I'm a fine girl, don't worry. Anyways, let's also let's also talk about Chimsom. Chimsom's drama with Oyin and Flora, and Chimsom trying to make Flora look like a non-entity. So he has talked about his drama with Oyin and how that it started because somehow Flora went to expose what they discussed in the conspiracy room to Oyin. And he kept going on and on about whether it is, whether that is even allowed. Are people allowed to talk about what happens in the conspiracy room? And you could just tell. He thinks he can instigate Biggie against other housemates. That's a Florida gambit. And in trying to explain, his drama with Oyin and all of that was when he tried to mention, Flora and how that Flora is her counterpart. And instead of saying Flora, he was using the word her counterpart. And he was like he does not remember Flora's name. That was when Yusuf was like, don't do that. You know her name. Call her by her name. Because what he was trying to do was make it look like Flora is inconsequential. She's not that important to him for him to remember her name. And any person can see through that you are just trying to be condescending to make the person a non-entity so that you can feel better about yourself. He eventually remembered her name. I was like, to what end though? There is no reason why anyone should come into Biggie's house to hustle. Whether you are there to hustle for the fame or the money, it is the same hustle. You are there to hustle for something. The same way that every other person in the house is there to hustle for something. There's no point in being condescending. There's no point in being classist. There is no point in talking down at your fellow housemates as though they are not worthy to be your cooks in the house. And then he mentioned something about his sisters, how that, I think he was referring to not wanting to have an issue with girls in the house because, if you see my sisters, something like that, like your sisters better pass the girls for the house. So what? Like, nobody cares about what your sisters look like. You know how people can literally bring their family members into things like this? When he goes out of the house and you can know how toxic Big Brother fans can be, and they decide to start dragging his sisters online, people will say, oh, it is wrong. Yes, it is wrong. But he's the one bringing them into it. Because from where to where are you comparing your sisters to fellow housemates? From where to where? Are your sisters in the house? Abi your sisters will come beat them because then they talk to you. I don't understand. You can't face someone that you have literally been bullying. You can't face them. So now your sisters will come fight your battles for you. Like, the thinking just doesn't align. You can just tell how very childish the thinking process can be. It's just, when I was seeing all of that, I was just like, I was so disgusted, especially when he started mentioning his sisters. If someone else was in a conversation with him and mentioned his sisters, he would say, oh, they are going to call his family members. He would probably crash out. But you are using your sisters as a yardstick? Boy, bye. I know that Chim Sum's fans will come and drag me in the comment section of this video. And I really don't care because he is literally bringing his innocent sisters into a conversation that he has no business bringing them into. He's exposing them to unnecessary drags, and it is not okay. Nobody knows your sisters. Nobody cares about your sisters. But you're exposing them by your own stupidity. Anyways, let's talk about Barry and Goddessa. After Araga don't fight Abby, come up for kitchen. Of course, Barry always cooks. Sometimes he cooks for people and he doesn't even eat the food. Anyways, we finally see Goddessa in the kitchen. And you guys know, Araga is the one who cooks Goddessa food. He makes food for her in the morning, sometimes even in the afternoon, in the evening. Definitely every morning, definitely every evening, and most afternoons. I see Goddessa for kitchen. They twin with Barry. They cook food. I said, what is going on here? And then she tells him he's avoiding her and he's telling her he's not avoiding her. They be flirting back and forth and she dey shout for Temi to do stuff. I'd be like, you must lord yourself over another person to make yourself feel good. I mean, I don't even have problem with that because I was just enjoying the view of she and Araga literally being all flirty and cooking together and all that good stuff. I was like, okay, Berry, carry on. Goddessa, carry on. I am not offended. I'm not mad. I can't live with this. Barry brought Goddessa out of her princess zone to come and cook food with pedestrians in the kitchen and peasants in the kitchen and the kitchen staff. Wow, Barry, you do this one. Well done. How does Biggie used to say it? Well done. I was truly surprised. Goddessa does not come to the kitchen to help Araga. She doesn't even give moral support like that. Even when she's giving moral support, I'm not dey touch anything. Not to talk of stirring pot and actually being part of the cooking, like she dey cook like for her own side. Like, no, not Goddessa. Like, so it's really just was interesting for me to see, and I was like, my people, I am going to bring that to you so that when in the future you start seeing Goddessa cook for Barry, now go know say na him first drag her come kitchen to come in on food preparation. Anyway, I doubt that Goddessa go cook for man for that house because that one a woman king. Now then they cook for her. Now then they rush her. Even as she was there, Araga day kitchen safe tramp they come flirt with her. So that one a woman king. Do you get? At some point, it seemed like they were lining up to come one after the other. I said a woman king. No worry. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and be back for more.